Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadows Within. I am your host, Larry, and we have some news to go over today regarding three different shows, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope everybody's having a good day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. I am very excited for this to go over these shows that have passed, and if you missed them, you should go check them out. Also, go check out AOWE shows that have just passed. Go check them out. We are here to go over XPWF, IZW, and RCL. And we will get that started by going over IZW, hosted and presented by Mr. Jack Graves. He always puts on a banger of a show, and IZW is known for their hardcore brutality. And let me tell you, there were some great matches from start to finish, and it was extraordinary. And if you missed it, please go check out the replay. First up, it was CJ Frost versus the Dog, Rob Anderson, in a very impressive matchup to kick off the show. And both men were vying and grasping for the win, and they put on a hell of a show like they do each time they step into the ring together. And this was just another clash in their many sagas to come. And in the end, it was CJ Frost walking out victorious. Next up was for the IZW Death Pit Championship, which was originally slated to be a fatal four-way. But a surprise appearance by a fifth man made a difference in that matchup. And it was between the Combat Genius, Insidious, King Dominator, Jordan King. And it was a fatal four-way. It got switched back to a fatal four-way, but it was a hell of a matchup. And I was very excited to see it. And in the end, it was KD walking away victorious. And if you missed it, please go check it out. Fatal 5-way. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Fatal 5-way. But if you missed it, go check it out. Next up was for the Deathcore Championship between Mr. Eddie Walker versus Khan in a 2 out of 3 tables match. Eddie had Riley at his side, but Riley did not interfere, as it was a battle between two brutes that have faced off before in many of bouts and battles, and this was just another clash in their many sagas, and Eddie walked away victorious, retaining his Deathcore Championship. I'm excited to see who will step up to him next, and excited to see the next time Eddie and Khan face. Next up was a 2 out of 3 Tempest Fraga versus Reagan Anderson, and that was a 2 out of 3 falls, and both ladies are showing why IZW has some dangerous women in the EFED community. And when they clashed, it was a war. Didn't need weapons or not, and they still came out battered and beaten. And in the end, it was Reagan Anderson walking away victorious. Next up for the Crossfire Women's Championship, it was Baby Bone Crusher versus Kaiva Frost versus Becca Edwards in a triple threat for the Crossfire Women's Championship. And all three ladies put on a hell of a showing. And in the end, it was Baby Bone Crusher walking away victorious. And next up, this has become a mainstay matchup in IZW, has been these special referee matches as of late. We've seen Tempest be one last time. We saw JoJo be one a couple times, and now we have Craig Mack, the Daddy Mack, refereed the match between Mr. Rusty Steele and John Wigginton, and both men put up a hell of a showing. And we know what both men are capable of, and they are both athletically gifted and talented, and they put on a show for the world to see. And in the end, it was Rusty Steele walking away victorious. Next up was a no-holds-barred between Ghost Edwards, representing the Last Right, versus Shan Leon, who has been teaming up with his partner Derek Serrario here and there. And Shan Leon is also a very skilled mat wrestler, technical wrestler, submission expert, and very brutal in them ring with them strikes. He could do it in tag and singles. And his opponent, Ghost Edwards, we know what he is about: high-flying, death-defying, also strong in his own right, and can be unpredictable at times. And in the end, it was Ghost Edwards walking away victorious. Next up was a 2 out of 3 Extreme Rules for the IZW Crossfire International Championship between Alexander Colt and Jack Graves. We know what the Graves family are about: hard-hitting and non-stop action, and they love their brutality and blood and pain, and they will go by any means necessary to pick up the win and the victory. And Alexander Colt, a man that made his debut not too long ago, very impressive in his work here, and if you haven't seen his work in BWC, go check it out. And he put up a great matchup with Mr. Jack Graves, tried everything he could, but Jack Graves came out victorious. And in the main event, it was for the Crossfire Universal Championship. The resident flash of E-Feds, Mr. Primetime JoJo himself, freaking walking in there hyped up and ready, always on fire in that ring. No matter win or lose, the man is always hyped and ready, and always ready to put on an impressive showing and give us something new and energetic. And his opponents were Mr. Lewis West. We know what Lewis West is about, the wild child, and he is a wild one in that ring, very crazy at times, and he is the heart and soul of RCW and has been bringing his brand of talent to the E-Feds he has gone around to. And Buster Anderson, a member of the Wolfpack, coming in hot and ready, looking to get gold, and freaking he did so, as he was the one that walked away with this triple threat matchup, becoming a champion yet again in his own right. And I can't wait to see what he does with this title reign. And that was IZW. If you missed it, please go check them out. Very great stuff. Now we move on to XPWF. I am very excited to go over this, ladies and gentlemen. Hell of a show each time. It was 3 shows that we'll be going over for XPWF as they were leading up to their clash in Paris. And if you missed that event, it was a very historic event that is one for the record books, I tell you. And I was very happy to see it in person and see what they were about. It was extraordinary. And for the part 1 of it, it was for the Hardcore Championship of XPWF, as Mr. TD took on Mr. Dimebag Dan in an ambulance matchup. And we know what the ambulance matches are about, full of brutality, blood, and craziness. And both men did just that. And both men were trying to put the other into the ambulance. Both were resisting, but then it finally came down to the bitter end as freaking Dimebag Dan walked away in such victorious fashion. Congrats to that man. Can't wait to see what he does going forward. Next up was Becca versus Rosa in a Hell in a Cell. And the Hell in a Cell is unforgiving, and both these ladies were unforgiving to one another as they threw caution to the wind, and they both wanted the win. And in the end, only one of them could walk out. But both of them walked out battered and beaten at the end of it, as Rosa was the one that took the victory. For the XPWF Light Heavyweight Championship, it was Mr. J Smoke versus the Pitbull Marshall, and that was a clash like no other. And that was also in the cell, ladies and gentlemen. And in the end, it was J Smoke walking out as the new champion. And I'm excited to see what he shall do with this title reign going forward. Welcome, Miss Crystal, and I hope you feel better soon. Miss Crystal, very talented lady, very nice lady. Hope you get better soon. For the XPWF Gucci's Divas Heavyweight Championship, it was Shay Flems versus MZ, the champion MZ walking in against Shay, and it was a clash. Both ladies put up an impressive showing, and in the end it was Shay walking away victorious. For the XPWF World Tag Team Championships, it was an elimination tag between the champions, the King's Court, defending against the Headhunters in a brutal clash, almost a dream matchup, I would really say. One for the record books and one that you would definitely want to go back and rewatch. It was impressive, and I was excited watching that from start to finish, and I can't wait to see if those two teams will clash again. Anything can happen in XPWF. Next up, XPWF All-American Women's Championship. By the way, the King's Court retained. If I did not state that, I'm sorry. They retained the tag titles. And for the XPWF All-American Women's Championship, it was the Goddess versus the champion, Big Fran. And whoo! Big Fran. She may not be as big, but she is big at heart. And she has one of the biggest hearts out there. And has one of the biggest determinations, taking on a woman that seems nearly unbeatable at times. And look what she did. She walked away victorious and unscathed, battered, but she walked away with the title. Congrats to that lady. XPWF Undisputed National Championship. The champion Nightmare Briggs defending against Todd Wilson. And there was a cash-in during the matchup from another competitor. And in the end, Briggs walked away victorious. Very impressive. Very impressive. Even after the cash-in, Briggs defied the odds, ladies and gentlemen. Never count out the Nightmare. Next up was Riley versus Nikita Evans. And that was a very great matchup to end off this first night, as Riley walked away victorious, but both ladies very impressive. And then that moved on and hyped up for night 2, which only had 3 matches, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't that much, but it was still a banger. Like, it was awesome. If you missed Clash in Paris, please go check it out, everybody. Also, for night 2, it was Dawn versus Persephone. If I am pronouncing that name incorrectly, please somebody tell me. I apologize. And that was a battle at the dark side. The clash of darkness right there, purely from the start. Both ladies are evil in their own right and scary. Don't underestimate them. Whew! And in the end, it was Persephone walking away victorious. Travis Turner versus the Pitbull Marshall. And in the end, it was Travis Turner walking away victorious. Both men put up a great matchup. Next up, it was for the XPWF Hardcore Championship as Nikita Sakamoto versus Tara Moss versus Mother Russia versus Jaden Matrix. All 4 ladies closed out the show with an impressive volume battle. And in the end, it was a steel cage match to end it all. And Jaden Matrix retained in such fashion and ease. I'm excited to see where she shall go from here. XPWF in Paris Part 3. It was LJ versus Dottie. I don't know if I pronounced that name or read that right. I apologize. But it was an impressive matchup. And definitely one nobody wants to miss. Go check out XPW Clash in Paris. Go check it out. And they definitely took over Paris, as they did XPWF in Paris. And it was for the XPWF Hardcore Championship. And with special referee Haley Ramone reffing the match. It was between Dimebag Dan versus Mr. Sicko. And in the end, it was Mr. Sicko walking away victorious in a brutal fashion. Both men put up a hell of a showing. Dimebag retaining his title the first time, but now he loses it at the second matchup he had at this event. And I'm excited to see if he'll come back for it at XPWF in Paris. Go check it out. Dynamite Daisy versus Isabella. And in the end, it was Dynamite Daisy walking away victorious. Showtime, Ray Andretti versus Eric Knight. And for the XPWF All-American Men's Championship with Eric retaining. Trick James versus Joseph Fox, with Trick James winning. And in the end, to cap it all off, it was for the XPWF 666 World Championship. Big Ace Dog versus Cora Desmo in an impressive showing, very brutal fashion. I have no doubt that this was definitely one of the matches of the nights. And in the end, it was Big Ace Dog retaining his belt. That was XPWF in Paris. If you missed it, and go check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And I am sorry I've been calling it Clash in Paris. I apologize. I've been realizing that it was XPWF in Paris. I apologize. Now, we're going to shift gears yet again as we move on to RCL. To kick off the show, it was Carlos Martinez representing Lucha Forever with his partner at his side versus Ryan Walker. Carlos won. It was a great matchup, a great battle to cap off, to start off the show. But after the match, Carlos and his partner attacked Ryan, but then Ryan's partner came out to make the save, possibly setting up a future bout between the two. Hello, Nana. Love you very much. Good to have you here. Happy to have you. Next up was a tag match. Welcome, Mr. B. Moore Johnson of AOWE. If you've missed AOWE stuff, go check it out. He has that posted up there on the Twitch page. Very great stuff at All Out War Entertainment. It was the Lassiters, if I'm saying their names incorrectly, I apologize, versus the Varsity Club in a tornado tag match. Both teams put up a great showing. I was very impressed by both teams. And in the end, it was the Varsity Club walking away victorious, showing their skills as a team, as the Lassiters put up a great fight as well. But in the end, Varsity Club walked away victorious. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anytime. Ray Young versus Griffin Rivers was next. Ray Young won, but after the match was attacked. And that was a brutal one, ladies and gentlemen. That happened out of nowhere. And may I mind you who he was attacked by? He was attacked by... Hold on, I'm spacing here. Gosh, I'm spacing, ladies and gentlemen. Just... my bad. He was attacked, signaling a future match, and that's my bad, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Domino took on Kurt Jenkins, and after the match, he was attacked, leading to a future match with that man as well. And I apologize. I forgot his name. I forgot to write it down. That's my bad, ladies and gentlemen. Bad on me. Next up was Yuri Suzuki versus Miles Cruz versus Austin Wolf versus The King, who was the RCO World Champion, in an Extreme Rules Fatal 4-Way. And it could have gone either way. An impressive showing. Like I said, every single match from start to finish in RCO was great and amazing. If you've never checked out this stuff, go check them out. Austin Wolf walked away, and who knows, future title shot for that man. Well deserved. And he was in there with The King, who did not win. Pointing out a fact there. No offense to The King, he put up a great showing. But truth is truth. He did not win. Next up, Austin Bates. For the RCL, it was the RCL World Champion Josh Niles versus Butch Morgan. And then he took on Josh Niles and Butch Morgan. They put on a great showing, the co-main event, right before the main event, setting up a great show to close out, to set up the closing match. And after, it was Josh Niles that won, but Austin Wolf came out to challenge him. And he just won his match earlier, so he is well right to. Austin Bates versus Madman. With Austin Bates walking away victorious, capping off the show, Madman put up a hell of a showing, but Austin Bates walked out victorious. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the Shadows Within that I have for you at the moment. But I think we can also go over some wrestling events if you haven't catched them up yet. On ones that have. Welcome, Chris King. Welcome, sir. Welcome. On September 13th, Monarchs Madness will be presented by the Imperial Wrestling Federation. Dropkick Championship Wrestling will have DCW 8, September 28th. Here we go again. We have switched the pace from eFed Wrestling to Pro Wrestling, by the way, everybody. Yes, welcome, Chris King. Welcome, sir. Alba Championship Wrestling, Stomping Grounds 2, September 27th. Premier British Wrestling, PBW will go live on September 6th and September 27th. September 26th. Sorry, the 6th and 26th. Forever Pro Wrestling will go live. We go live with Going Gold on September 19th. Hog will be in Philadelphia on September 4th. And Killer Cross will debut on October 10th. CCW Tournament of Death 22 will be on September 6th. International Wrestling Cartel IWC returns to Mark's Court on October 4th. Chaos Lockdown will present Lockdown on September 6th. MLW Slaughterhouse on October 4th. WR Wrestle Revolver will present Clean Slate on September 6th. Welcome, Alexa Rain. Good to see ya. Horror Slam will present Tombstone September 19th. Three Legacies Wrestling Red Rose Rumble 3 September 6th. Hey. What security team? Didn't even know I have one, but okay. Do I? Shit. FCW Firestar Championship Wrestling will be in Lemount on November 29th. Reach Wrestling, here's an announcement from them. First time ever live at Unit 10 with fans, September 14th. The Reach Army history is about to be made inside our very own home for the very first time ever. Fans will step inside Unit 10 and we will bring a battle royal with huge stakes. The winner of said battle royal will earn a spot in December's massive Christmas Rumble. Stay tuned for that on Reach Wrestling. Valor Pro will have 808s and Rope Breaks 2 on September 13th. New Era Wrestling will have Proving Grounds on September 20th. Texas Wrestling Cartel Respect My Gangster will be on September 20th. IMF Wrestling Ring of Champions September 27th. Baracho Pro Shots on the House September 21st. Death in the Family Because the Fight September 6th. SVN Severe Violent Nature The House That Love Built November 15th. I hope you are well, Alexa. It's good to see you. King of Sports will be having a little tour going on here as they go from Campbell, Texas on the September 6th. Wichita Falls, Texas on September 19th and the 20th. Pittsburgh, Texas on October 11th. Miller Grove, Texas on November 15th. Bree Combination Wrestling Grand Rumble, a tribute to Mama Pan on September 21st. Game Changer Wrestling Rumble on the River September 13th. And they will also have Homecoming on Part 1 on August 24th and Homecoming Part 2 on August 24th, presented by Game Changer Wrestling. And they will also, Game Changer Wrestling will also have Rumble in the River September 13th. Wrestling with Pride will have Pride and Punishment on November 29th. Pro Wrestling Magic, The Hangover, September 20th. Pro Wrestling Symphony, Toxicity, September 14th. Extreme World Wrestling Blood, Sweat, and Tears, September 27th. ACCW Apple City Championship Wrestling, WrestleGate 2, September 13th. ICW North, September to Dismember on September 12th. That almost confused me there. IWA Deep South Carnage Cup, October 25th and October 26th. Atomic Legacy Wrestling Final Show 2025 will be on October 10th. Palmetto will have the Grand Slam at the Lex, October 17th. Time Bomb Pro Wrestling, The Ring is Waiting, September 12th. Midwest Championship Wrestling Conflict, September 27th. 360 Pro Cowtown Showdown, November 1st. Wrestle Rave Porter, Texas debut on September 6th. Prestige Roseland, October 5th. We Love Wrestling Chaos at the Wait, my bad, ladies and gentlemen. That one has just passed. That's my bad. New World Wrestling will go live very soon. Deathmatch Down Under. Wait for more announcements from them. And that was all, ladies and gentlemen, that I had really today for pro wrestling and the eFed world. And that's what I have. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. And stay tuned for more. Peace out.